Hi, this is David, and I'm going to show you how to update the information on the rehearsal information page of the Mississippi Community Symphonic Band's website. In this tutorial, I'm going to present it in 5 different elements. The first element is how to install an FTP client. For this demonstration, I will be using FileZilla. The second element is to download the site source document for this rehearsal information webpage to your computer. The third element is to edit the site source document to reflect accurate information and links for the upcoming concert. The fourth element will be to upload the site source document back to the server, and the fifth element is to proofread the live rehearsal information webpage and correct it as needed. To go directly to any of these elements, simply fast forward your video to the time code indicated. The first thing I'm going to do is install the FileZilla browser. I'm here on a Google web page. I'm going to type into the Google search engine, FileZilla download. It takes me to the filezilla.org. I'm going to go here where I believe I can get all of the different elements that I want. FileZilla client, all platforms. Here we go. Click on that link and there's Windows 64-bit. Installer may include bundled offers. I don't like bundled offers. Show additional download options. Here we go. 64-bit. I have 64-bit Windows. Notice we have it in 32-bit Windows. You can get it in Mac OS X. You can get it in Linux. So I'm going to get the Win64 setup.exe. Let's click on that download. And I want to save the file. Go to Utils. And I am going to create a directory for FileZilla. New folder. FileZilla. I'm going to double click on that one, and here we have the FileZilla Win setup. We save, come up here to the download arrow. I'm going to just double click on this. Now here we have the user license agreement, which I have read before and I don't need to read it again. I'm going to agree. I want it to install for anyone who uses this computer. I want the icon sets, the language files, the shell extension. Next, I want it to install in the destination folder on my C drive. That's correct. Click on Next. Select Start Menu Folder. I do not need a Start Menu folder because this is Windows 10. And I'm going to click the Install button. It goes through it, and it is done. I'm going to go ahead and click on Start FileZilla Now. Finish. And it is starting. I'm going to close this browser window. Here we go. Welcome to FileZilla. You got your documentation and everything you need, and you see you can always open it through the Help menu, which is up here. Help menu, check for updates, show the welcome dialog. There it is right there. The next thing we need to do is to orient you to the FileZilla window. The top window here shows you everything that goes on across the wire. You can delete that window by clicking that button, show it, delete it, and that's fine. The windows on the left are by default your computer. You can see here that I do have this PC. I've got my C drive, which I don't want. The D drive is where I keep most of everything on my computer. You will probably have it on your C drive. Here is the folder setup. If I click on D drive, then this shows the folder setup in my D drive. As a matter of fact, I can close that and just click on the D drive and it shows them here. We'll get to that in a minute. On the right-hand window pane, this is what shows up on the server. Whenever you connect to a website, you see what's on that website here, both the folder view and the individual file view, and you can see here we are not connected to any server. And the very bottom window is your status window. And just like anything else, up here in the button bar, you can hide your local files by clicking that button. You can hide the remote files by clicking that button. And you don't need to worry about that right now because all we're going to do is find a file on the server, drag it to your computer, edit it there, And then once you're done editing it, you drag it back to the server and you'll be done. The next thing we need to do is to configure FileZilla so it will help us edit text files without being a hassle. The way to do this, up in the top line menu, we go to Edit, Settings, and come down to File Editing. And into File Editing pane, we click on Use the System's Default Editor for Text Files and click OK. That's all we need to do on that. Now that we have installed FileZilla, it's time to use it to edit a text file that's resident on the server. This is for the Mississippi Community Symphonic Band, but the same technique can be used to edit a text file on any server as long as you have the proper login credentials. To connect to the server, which is the first step we need to do, we go up to the top and we enter the host name. In this case, editor@mcsb.us. You put in the password, which I have copied to my clipboard and I'm not going to reveal here on the video. And that's all there is to it. Just click on Quick Connect. It will the very first time tell you that this is an unknown certificate. I'm going to always trust this certificate in future sessions and click OK. It now proceeds and has connected to this directory on the server. If you have been set up as an FTP client, which editor@mcsb.us has been set up, it will only let you into a certain folder, and this folder is our source materials. You can see there are a number of folders here. The only one that we are interested in is rehearsals. Click on rehearsals, and we will see all the files present in the rehearsal folder. The only folder we're interested in is rehearsalinfo.txt. This is the folder that feeds the web page that shows our rehearsal info page. This is the rehearsal info page on the website, and everything that is displayed on this page from the menu bar on down to the bottom of the page is present in the rehearsalinfo.txt file. Now there are two ways we could edit this file. One way is we could grab it and just drag it over to the left-hand window pane, which would put it right on our computer. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you an easier way. Remember, we connected our default text editor to FileZilla. If we right-click on Rehearsal Info, all we have to do is now click on View/Edit. You can see it's doing some connection, and this is the file directly off the server. Now, be aware it has downloaded the file into a temporary location on our computer, so the edits we make here will not be saved to the server until we actually save them. Now, to demonstrate that we are editing a live file, let's go back and look at the page. Let's take a look at Jules Triumphal. It is written by W.P. English. I'm going to change it. I'm going to delete the P period and reload the page, and that will show us that what we have done truly affects the source on the server. If you look at the top of this document, the rehearsalinfo.txt document, any line that is preceded by 2 diagonal slashes and a space is a comment and does not show up on the page. Feel free to read the entire comment section at the top. It gives you some instruction on what to do. I'm going to give you shortcut instructions here in this video. If we scroll down, you'll see general rehearsal information, and we see right up at the top, general rehearsal information. If we scroll down, we see that general rehearsal information has a tag in front of it, season in square brackets. If we go down and we find another season in square brackets, and it says repertoire for the concert on Sunday, October 7th, go over here, and it says repertoire for the concert on Sunday, October 7th. So season will give us this dark red background with yellow print. That's kind of a header. If we go down a little bit farther, we now see right here that we have Jules Triumphal, a comma in square brackets, and then W.P. English. I'm going to simply click on that line, hit the delete key 1, 2, 3 times, and that's all I'm going to do right now. I'm going to save, Control S, I've saved that one. I'm going to minimize this, and down here in FileZilla we see the file has changed. I want to upload this file back to the server, finish editing, and delete the local file. I don't want to finish editing and delete the local file just yet. I just want to say yes. And you notice up here on the top, several of the activity lines have printed, which means it has had some activity between your computer and the server, and the file transfer has been successful. It sent the entire updated file. Now let's go back to the band web page, and by either pressing the button that says reload the current page, which is, as you can see, a circle with an arrow, or pressing the F5 key, which I'm doing right now. Watch this icon. It goes X, and then it says it's reloaded. We come down here to Jules Triumphal, and we notice that there is no P in W English. That means the edits we did in that text file have now been reflected on the web page. What we need to do now is go through this entire section of the web page source and update it so that everything we have here is updated and all of the tunes are going to be different. I'm going to update one of them and show you exactly what I do, and then I will fast forward through updating all the others. Then I will show you how I update these links. The first thing we do is open up the repertoire planning document on our Google Documents page. Okay, here we are on the MCSB concert repertoire. The top element here in the concert repertoire should be the upcoming concert. First thing we have is Sunday, December 16th, 2018. Let's go over to the text version of the document and change the header. We'll double click on October and change that to December. And it is not going to be the 7th, it's going to be the 16th. The year is correct at 2018. And if you want to double check that your changes are taking effect, first we save the document, save, go over to FileZilla, upload the file back to the server, don't delete the local file, click yes, go back to the web page, hit F5, watch October change to December 16th, there it is. The changes are taking effect. Now let's go change the very first listing of the tune, Celebration of Liberty. In the text editor here, we'll notice that we have Celebration of Liberty. I'm going to highlight that whole thing because that's not going to be our very first tune. Let's go back to our Google document. Here we go. It is A Most Wonderful Christmas, arranged by Robert Sheldon. Back to the source document. Going to change A Celebration of Liberty, delete A Most Wonderful Christmas. The comma within the square brackets gives you letter dots between the title and the arranger. Let's look at it. Are these series of periods between the title and the arranger? So we leave that there. It is arranged by James Swearingen. Go back to the repertoire document, and I see that it has a YouTube link. So we'll come back to that in a little bit, and I'll show you what to do with YouTube's links. Now I'm going to go ahead and fast forward as I update the source document with all the rest of the tunes for the Christmas repertoire. Here we go. It helps if I drag the source document off to one side and the text document off to the other so I can see the left side as I'm editing the right side. I am not going to have an announcer for the first tune, so I'm just going to delete that. Going to leave the YT vid for now, and away we go, editing all the source. I did notice that the Most Wonderful Christmas is not arranged by James Swearingen, but by Robert Sheldon, so I'm going to change that now. The swing plays at intermission, so I'm just going to leave that alone, go on to the second half of the program. Okay, all of the titles and the arrangers have been entered into the source document. Now we need to go back and make sure all of the links to the YouTube videos are proper. Going up to the very first one, A Most Wonderful Christmas, arranged by Robert Sheldon. We do have a YouTube link for that. If we come to the A Most Wonderful Christmas, we see we do not have a YouTube link in the beginning of that. Now, a YouTube link consists of square bracket, YTVID, close bracket. I'm going to copy that and put it at the beginning of this line. I'm going to paste it one more time and put the slash in front of it, which basically closes the YouTube tag. Now, in between these two tags, the opening tag and the closing tag of YT vid, we need to put the YouTube video ID. The YouTube video ID is everything that comes after $V equals. Everything that comes after $V equals is the YouTube video ID. I'm going to copy that, go over to this. I have my cursor in the right place. I hit paste, and that YouTube video ID is now pasted between the tags. I'm now going to copy and paste the YouTube video tags all the way down the line. Notice in Wonderful World of Christmas, there is no YouTube video link. So I'm going to remove that tag and the associated link. I just highlight them and click delete, and the tag is gone. So we will not have a link on Wonderful World of Christmas. There is also no video for March of the Toys or White Christmas. So we're just going to delete the links for those. And no link for the Hallelujah Chorus. Now we're going to save it. Control S to save it. We're going back over to FileZilla. And I'm not going to delete the local file yet because we may want to make some more changes. So I'm going to click yes. It has written to the server. Let's go back over to the web page, press F5 to update the page, and watch what happens. F5, boom! There we go. A Most Wonderful Christmas with a link, Christmas Fancies with a link, Wonderful World of Christmas, no link, Star of Wonders, Hanukkah Highlights, Good Swing, Wenceslas. I'm reading all of these to make sure that everything is correct. White Christmas, Dono Nobis Pacem, minor alterations. It looks like that's good. If there were anything wrong with it at this point, I would go back to the text file and I would update the text file, resave it, and make it correct on the web page. We're done with that editing. The next thing to do is to validate the links that we have. Now, as it says here, right-click on the title and open in a new tab or window to hear the tune. And we need to check that all of these links go to the proper place. Right click, open link in new tab. A Most Wonderful Christmas by Robert Sheldon. That is correct. Close it. Right click, Christmas Fancies, new tab. Christmas Fancies by James Kernow. That's good. Close it. Right-click on Star of Wonder, new tab, Star of Wonder. That's a good one. Close it. I'm not going to talk about each of these, but you know how I do it now, and you can do it yourself. Okay, all of the links I know go to good YouTube videos, so anybody in the band who wants to listen to our repertoire can do so wherever we have the links. Everything is done, so I'm going to go back to the source document. I'm going to put a space here and then delete it, which will give us a change. I'm going to save that, and now I'm going to close this document. I'm going to go back to FileZilla, and I'm going to finish editing and delete the local file, yes. We are done. I'm closing FileZilla. I'm reloading this web page. And we now have an updated rehearsal information page with the repertoire for the concert on Sunday, December 16th. Now, the other things we can do while we're on this page is if there's anything above this that we need to edit, we can use the same technique to edit this text here. Same thing down here. So we can edit anything below the menu and above the footer. Now you know how to do that. You can take care of it your own next time.